if you're a rock singer that's taken singing lessons, you bought vocal courses, you've been on the YouTube loop of video after video after video, and you have the impression that all great, powerful rock singing is based off an ah vowel, I am about to shatter your perception of rock singing. Now, John Farnham is known as one of the world's greatest rock pop singers, if not the greatest rock pop singer ever. You know, if you're Aussie, this is what we heard on the radio every 5 minutes in the 80s when I was a kid, right? But it's definitely caught on internationally. I see, you know, the voice coaching channels out there, if you can call them that do the voice coach reacts. You know, John Farnham is this massive thing and they're all like, you know, basically jaw on the floor, which is a good reaction to his singing, right? Now, he has a favorite vowel that you're probably not aware of, that he uses all the time. A lot of the money notes that you hear in this just incredible singing that he does and still does, you know, into his 70s, he still sounds exactly, you know, a song like The Voice has been around 40 years. Look up any live version of this and show me one where he's not on point. And it's just incredible watching this guy singing the joy. You know, he knows he's on point, which is where the joy comes from, right? Imagine just being on point all the time as a singer, right? Here's a favorite vowel. I want to share it with you. So I'm going to sing a John Farnham vocal line. I'm going to try and illustrate where this vowel is, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, right? So if I'm singing a John Farnham vocal line, right? We have the chance to turn the pages over. We can write what we want to write. We got to make ends meet before we get much older. We're going to talk about that for a second. So on the original recording, you know, we got to make ends meet before we get much older. That was a producer externally to John Farnham that made him do it in that way, right? Because every live version that I see him doing of this song, that's the money note of the song. He's just, we gotta make ends meet before we get much older. He makes a point of it. It's even like, you know, points at the camera. He's just like, yeah. We're all someone's daughter. We're all someone's son. Oh, can we look at each other? See how common this vowel is? What is this vowel? Down the barrel of a gun. You're the voice trying to understand it. Make a noise and make it clear. Whoa. We're not gonna live in silence. We're not gonna live in fear. Whoa. Right? Every time I'm singing that sound, they're like, we have the chance to turn. What the fuck is that vowel? That's not an R vowel, right? No. We have the chance to turn the pages over. It sounds like I'm having a stroke. It's really hard to do. It doesn't work for the word, yet it's a vowel you probably don't know, right? What is this vowel and why don't you know it, right? I would call this the ligament vowel. This is my wild card vowel. This is my favorite vowel, right? You listen to Paul Rogers, right? Yeah. There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this? Now maybe, baby, maybe she's in need of a kiss. Right? What is this weird vowel? It's a ligament vowel. It's a front vowel, right? So when you sing a sound like this, the reason it's called a front vowel, I guess, is the first thing that you need to understand. The space between the middle of the tongue and the old alveolar ridge, which is basically like behind your top teeth, right? There's that ridge there, is small. So it catches a high frequency there, right? So front vowels and back vowels are called as such because the smallest formant in the vowel, the brightest formant in the vowel is either in the front or the back, right? So instead of lowering your tongue and opening up as much space as possible, right, and singing in the back, what you actually got to do is raise your tongue. The chance to turn the pages over. It's one of the most, it's an unstressed vowel. Like stressed is not a great description of any vowel, but like in terms of stressed, in terms of like a stressed syllable, right? Like A stressed sound, right? There's no better word for it. It's actually what it's called, right? It's an unstressed sound. You cannot stress this sound. You cannot stress your voice while singing this sound. If you cannot sing this sound, you're stressing your voice, which is why it's one of my favorite vowels. Every song I've ever written, it's every 3 words. Every Free or Bad Company song I listen to, that I study in depth because, Paul Rogers is my guy. Guys like John Farnham, really incredible singers. Every 3 or 4 words, there's that vowel that you don't know. You've taken singing lessons, you've bought the courses. Why don't you know this vowel? This is John Farnham's favorite vowel. Why don't you know it, right? Why aren't you spending all your time practicing this sound? Why have you never ever heard of an vowel, right? You Americans out there, it's not there's no r on this sound. It's an O-E, like hors d'oeuvre, not hors d'oeuvre, hors d'oeuvre, right? Like the way that I would say the word dirt, not dirt, like the soil, right? Get rid of the rolled tongue and the articulation, right? This is, every single singer that I love has mastered this sound and favors this sound because it's an unstressed sound. It's almost like a relief for the voice to sing this sound. And it's so powerful and it's so easy and it's so important, right? This is what I like to call door number 3. Last couple of videos I've done for you guys, I really feel like I've tapped into this in these videos. This is door number 3, right? These sounds that your favorite singers are making, like spectacular world-renowned singers that even voice teachers are like, holy fuck, what this guy's doing. The people that are reacting to stuff instead of actually singing themselves. They're just like, holy fuck, I have no idea what he's doing. This is what he's doing. He's singing this sound. Why don't you know it, right? I'd love to open up door number 3 for you, right? If you're serious about working with me, if you're serious about taking your voice to a professional level, if you're a professional singer and you want to get to a even higher level in your singing, there's a link down below. If you're serious about working with me, I'm going to ask you some questions though to see if we're a good fit to meet up with each other. Why are you putting yourself through this? What are you working towards? Why are you doing this? That's really important. What's your time frame? Putting a full stop at the end of this shit. It's so important, right? If it's just an open-ended thing, it's going to be an open-ended thing for you. If you're like, I'm knocking Lemmy off the table here, I'm so excited about this for you. Just totaling Lemmy. Putting a full stop at the end of this is actually one of the most important things. It's something that I went through so many years of training before someone said, okay, when do you want to do this by? And I'm like, I don't understand the question. When do you want to do this by? What do you want to do? Where's your full stop on this in terms of time frame? And more importantly, what's going on? I don't want to hear that you can't do Mick's voice. I don't want to hear that you can't do the dying cat. I don't want to hear that you can't support your voice. That's for me to decide. Tell me what's actually going on. When I sing, John Farnham, we go for the whoa, right? Like, whoa, whoa, we're not gonna live in silence. When we go for silence, right? We're not gonna live with fear. Tell me what doesn't work when you sing that line or whatever it is that you want to do, right? Tell me, hey, look, this song, 45 seconds in when he sings this note on this word, I can't fucking do it because my voice craps out, I shout or yell, or I can do it and I blow my voice out for a week. There's a link down below if you're serious about working with me. This is door number 3. This is the stuff that you don't know that you should know. This is the stuff that you don't know that your favorite singers are doing. This is John Farnham's favorite vowel. I want to show it to you. Hit the link down below if you want to reach out to me and you're serious about working with me. Most importantly, hit the subscribe button because I want to keep challenging the vocal paradigm. This is very important to me, and I'm sure it's very important to you as well. We got to keep challenging this. If we're not challenging this shit that you're told, that everything's based on an R vowel, which it's not, we're never going to move forward. You're never going to move forward. Hit the subscribe button. Reach out if you're serious about working with me, and we are going to talk soon.